Good day to every one of you. This is another time we need to come together to this platform. As you have a proper understanding that the platform is all about somebody you want to marry. Somebody you have it at the back of your mind that you propose to marry. We'll be discussing about communication, and that has taken us to information. We started this information about 2 weeks ago. But now today we want to look into another two, just about that information. But we are looking into health wise of somebody you propose to marry. And it's very, very important. First and foremost, you need to understand that health is very important. As long as you have it at the back of your mind that you want to marry that person, whether your own health or the sound health of somebody you want to marry, it is very important for you to tell someone you want to marry. Let him or her know every information about your sound health. Very, very important. If you have gone through anything in the past, maybe as a result of challenges, one thing or the other, that may have affected your health, let him know. If you have gotten any information through your medical doctor, or they may have diagnosed one thing or the other, let him or her know exactly what the medical doctor have said. If you have anything that's affecting your sound health, let it be clear to that the opposite sex you want to marry. Because failure to do that may eventually affect the marriage, whether sooner or later. And that may lead to separation. Even sometimes it may lead to total divorce. And this is why it's very important. I'm going to share two things. And that is just about experience of the past. A lady have it back, wanted to marry to a young man. She has gotten some couple of challenges in the past that affected her health. She went through an operation and eventually it affected her womb. After a number of years, she decided to marry to a man. The medical doctor told her that she cannot have a child. But you know, there's nothing difficult for God. But at the same time, there's need to allow somebody you want to marry, let him or her know the state of condition. Unfortunately, she never told the man. They wedded and they continue their relationship. Very long time. They continue struggle, pray here and there for childbearing, and nothing worked for better. At the end of the day, the information eventually got to the man. And that was the end of the relationship. But if the lady had been careful enough to allow the young man to know, this is the condition, this is exactly what I've gone through in the past, they can come together to look into what they can do. They can go through prayer. They can go through other means whereby God can help them to have children. But the information was not eventually got into the man. That was what led the relationship to total broken off. So if you want to marry to anybody, your head condition, your head wise, very, very important. Let him or her know exactly what you have gone through in the past. Even if you have any health challenging, let them know. There is another person. When you look into the health wise and the condition is not okay, tell the person, let the opposite say no. You can come together for prayer. You can come together to reason together. This is another thing. Experience of the past. The young man have it at the back of his mind to marry the lady. The relationship was very close and they loved each other. This man is afflicted with spirit of epileptics, a victim of epileptics. He felt as long as the woman knows, she may not be able to continue with her. What next? Instead of him calling the young lady and tell her, this is what we have on ground, this is the challenge I have, she did not inform the lady. After their wedding, then that challenges springs up. And the woman continued looking at the man. She thought it was just a little something that they can handle. At the end of the day, it eventually came known to the lady that the young man happened to be a victim of epileptics. The struggle continued. Like I said last week, that most time when you fail to allow the opposite sex to know what you are going through, most time it may lead the opposite sex to a different thing completely. The affection for love may not be there, and that may lead a serious problem into the relationship. They continue to struggle to look what they can do to get out of the matter. But the lady was highly annoyed that you would have told me. Then the young man said, earlier I had it in mind to tell you, but I have it in mind that if I tell you, you may not be able to marry me. And this is why I said, let me just keep it to myself. So when you keep such a thing to yourself, you have to envisage that something is coming. Because it's as if you put a fire inside of the roof. And by the time you slept up in the night, you understand what it means. So it's always very important. Try to understand there are a lot of sicknesses that some people are affected with that may lead you to let the opposite sex know exactly what you are going through. So many challenges like that. But today we want to look into that issues that are related to our health wise. Let the opposite sex know what you are going through. When you inform such a person, you come together, reason together to see what you can do. At the end of the day, God will help you. Then you can get over the matter. But if you fail to allow such opposite sex to know, within you cannot be comfortable. If you are a genuine Christian and you have such a thing at the back of your mind, your conscience will be troubling. You will have a lot of trouble in your heart. Because exactly what you need to allow the opposite sex to know he or she is not aware. And all these are causes a lot of the crisis in relationship. These are reasons why you need to allow that person to know. There are other terrible sicknesses like that. Some may not be even yet to medical doctor most time. Some may eventually. But taking somebody to the hospital does not even mean that God does not involve if it takes place. So understand that God heals. The doctor cares. When but you coming together and you reason about it, eventually come into conclusion, you can decide on what to do. Then you support it with prayer. Go to those people that you feel they are better about that that can give you some information about that, can help you out of it. Don't keep to yourself. Tell your opposite sex the truth. This is exactly what I'm going through. Then you can reason together. By the time you reason together, you will definitely find solution. There is nothing difficult before God, and there is no challenge that has no solution. Going through one way that does not have a solution does not mean that there's no solution. God gives so many ways of finding solution to our problems, but you need to allow that person to know. When you understand it and both of you come together, you reason together about it, then you can go out to look into those people that can be of help to you. You can go through medical doctor, you can equally go through praying and fasting. You can go to any length to make sure that eventually the marriage is okay when you come together. So information about health-wise is very important. Let the opposite sex know. Even there are certain things that are not even just ordinary sickness. Whether that person is afflicted in one way or the other, let them know. May God be with you. Let me stop here today. Then we'll continue next week. Bye for now.